What's up guys, MainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always. A very kind Reddit user has done a compilation of the Steam charts, so that's the Steam statistics for various games, how many people are playing them, how active are the players. So here we have a compilation of the Steam charts for fighting games, and this is very fresh as you can see. It was compiled on the 5th of June. And Tekken 7 is doing incredibly well. I've known this for a long time, but it's doing great on Steam, and I believe on PS4 as well. But it's very nice to see these very, very humbling figures here. So the only fighting game we can see is more active than Tekken 7 on Steam is Mortal Kombat 11. A game that was released a month ago, I think it was, 1.5 months ago. Tekken 7 is now 2 years old. It was released in 2017 in June, to be completely specific. Was it the 11th of June? I don't remember exactly the date. But in this list, yes, MK11, brand new game, and a huge title and very beloved by casual gamers. Then we have Tekken 7, which is a very drastically different game, a very hardcore fighting game, but which has made it so high up on this list. Because Dragon Ball FighterZ, you'd think that would be more popular, or like, well, Soul Calibur 6 is kind of hardcore as well, and that series has always struggled quite a bit. And we're gonna take a little look. Oh god, someone's been doing drugs today. We're gonna take a look at the numbers on all of these games, but as we can see here, the 30-day average for MK11 is 5,400 unique players. Tekken 7 is 2,100. Then Street Fighter 5, which is a huge game and also beloved by casual gamers. It is it the biggest esport fighting game still? I think it is. I know they have trouble now in the Street Fighter community. I check in on them from time to time, and a lot of them are saying like they feel the game is kind of dead. I know it's not dead, but compared to what it usually is, it doesn't have the numbers, spectators, or active players as they used to have. And I know Ono and Capcom are a little bit silent regarding updates on the game, so I don't know what's happening there. But it's a bit of a desert checking out Street Fighter content creators. It's like they almost feel like they have nothing to talk about. So there's some pessimism there. Do try and fill me in here because I'm not that in touch with them, but Street Fighter sees 1,100 players, which is half of what Tekken 7 has on Steam, which is quite remarkable. And of course, as you've probably heard, for the first time ever, Tekken is a bigger game at EVO Las Vegas, than Street Fighter. If you have been caught up in esports, you probably know like how big of a deal this is, and I never thought that was going to happen. Street Fighter was always the bigger spectator game, but Tekken has more entries. It's what an incredible 2 years it's been for Tekken, to be honest. And it's a good thing that Bandai Namco, they've said they're in no hurry to make Tekken 8 because Tekken 7 is doing so well. Yeah, why risk it by making a Tekken 8 that could, flop, or damage the impression Tekken 7 has made? Like, it's such a beloved game, and it just seems to be expanding, in esports and spectators, so wonderful. And then we have Dragon Ball FighterZ, which really, really surprises me that it's at 1,100. I thought this game was gonna have big legs, on Steam, going forward. But 1,100 active players, average player base per month. I don't know what's happening here, guys. I have no idea. I'm not in touch with this community. Mortal Kombat 10 to be expected, 600 players because we have MK11 now, which is of course the sequel. Can't expect the previous title to be larger. But it is quite incredible though that you have MK11 at the top And then you have MK10, which is the previous title at 600, and it's bigger than Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6 isn't even bigger than the previous Mortal Kombat game. But yeah, Soul Calibur 6, that's 350 players, which is... It's not great, but I wouldn't say it's bad either. But I'm thinking Bandai Namco were probably hoping for more. I know the success of Tekken 7 was probably a contributing, motivating drive, you know, to make another title in the Soul Calibur franchise. And I'm thinking they were probably hoping for more with this game. But it still has 350 players, it has some die-hard fans, but seems to be struggling a little bit. I mean, it was released not that long ago. Was it in October? I think it was. And then you have Injustice 2, which is an old game now, 178 players, but this never had a lot of players to begin with, I think. Dead or Alive 6, released not too long ago, 175 players. They were absolutely hoping for more. Not doing too well. What's going on here, Dead or Alive players? How is this? Guilty Gear Xrd, is it called that? 173 players, which is good, I think, considering it's been out for quite a while. Under Night in Birth, I have no idea what this game is. Blaze and Blue, Super Manga Anime Fighter, 144. Mortal Kombat Complete Edition, 144. Super impressive considering what it is. Street Fighter 4, 142 players. Still considered by many the best Street Fighter game, although I would argue Street Fighter Third Strike, but they're very different games. One of them is super hardcore and the other is maybe hardcore enough. You know, maybe Street Fighter Third Strike is too complicated. Skullgirls, big fan favorite, 116. Is this King of Fighters 13? I think it is, 111. Is this King of Fighters 14? I think it is, only 69. Marvel vs. Capcom 360. Jesus. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity. What was it called? Is that game just completely dead? Injustice, 50 players. Do we have any notable entries? Killer Instinct at 16. So what's going on with Killer Instinct? Is it dead? I thought it had like a big hardcore community. Guilty Gear. That's the second game, I think. Blaze and Blue. Street Fighter X Tekken, 6 players. Wow. That's gonna be a bitch to try and find a matchup. Lots of Guilty Gear titles. But this one here at the bottom, Fighting EX Layer, not released not too long ago, but almost a year ago, I think. 1.5 average players. So there's like one dude playing online practice mode, I guess. What happened to this game? What's the name again of the developers? Arika. Is it Arika? They made the Street Fighter EX games, you know, that were 3D. Loved, quite obscure games, but loved by many during the PlayStation 1 era, I remember. And now they made EX Layer, was hoping for it to become a cult classic, to get a decent chunk of players, you know, very loyal players sticking with it. But one player? What happened here? Is this game completely dead? I mean, on release, a lot of people said the game was fantastic. But when I looked at the game, I was like, the graphics are not really there. The sound effects are stay British, main man. Laugh-inducing. like laughable in my opinion. I thought the sound effects were like, Jesus, it's worse than Virtua Fighter, and Virtua Fighter was not great. But what is happening here? Is it completely dead? So heartbreaking, considering a lot of people felt Street Fighter V was kind of lackluster. So it would have been so great if this game was a contender, but it seems to be. People complain about Street Fighter V, but it's not like they've supported this game, it looks like. So what's happening here? Why does no one play this game? I heard a lot of people like the gameplay, at least. But again, I'm really ecstatic about Tekken 7, my beloved Tekken game, the game I play. I'm so happy it's doing so well, and I hope we keep seeing success like this with the game. So that's gonna be my little update here on the Steam charts. It was not linked, the name of the person who made this chart, but if you're watching this video, big thanks for making the chart. It was very detailed and awesome, and I'm going to wish you all a lovely, lovely day. Take care.